Hello, you guys. Good evening whenever you're watching this. I'm going to do this as a live and then also put it on my YouTube. But I really wanted to share with you and kind of go more into depth on the mindset of the 3-month planting and harvesting rule when you're starting this business and help you just have like the mindset around it and know what to expect, because I feel like when you know what to expect, you can effectively do the right thing to get results. So what I mean by the 3-month effect is that what you do now in your business typically does not show the result for about 90 days after. Now, what I mean by that is when let's pretend you're brand new, you start working this business and you are posting about the products, you're sharing the products, the benefits of the products, what it does for people, and you're talking about the opportunity, you're sharing about why you started, where you're going. And as we know on social media, this is something that we do consistently, right? Like we consistently share the products in the business. Now, at the beginning, there's so many people that literally have never had success in anything like this before. They've never done anything like this before. And then they start to post about the product and the business and what they've started. And then they wait. They're like, okay, if nobody's reaching out, nobody's buying, you can drop a 1 in the chat if this is something that you relate with. Like, I remember starting to work this business and like I would post about the greens, I would post about the wraps, I would share why I was excited to be making money from my phone. And then I would be like, okay, I'm doing something wrong because nobody is interacting. Nobody's asking me about this. And so that's when people get into their feelings and then they stop doing the things because they're subconsciously like, okay, nobody wants what I have, so I better stop. This is where you need to understand the mindset of the 90 days. So people are going to watch you and look at what you're doing before they join you. Like 100%. It's like when you plant a seed in the ground, you know, the seed doesn't automatically grow. You have to tend to the seed for the flower to bloom. Like the seed needs to be in the soil, it needs to be watered, there needs to be sunlight. And when you do those things and show up for that seed consistently, eventually the plant grows. And so you have to have that same faith and like mindset when you're working your business. And so I remember feeling very just like, nobody in my network wants this. Nobody wants what I have. But like knowing to stay consistent in my posting, knowing to keep my doors open for business, knowing to keep talking about the things even when I wasn't seeing the results. Because truthfully, I thought about how it took me 3 years to join. And if that person didn't keep watering the seed that they had planted with me, meaning showing me their life, showing me them making their greens every day, showing that, you know, showing their social media why she was grateful to work from home with her 2 daughters, like that seed would have never harvested for me. I would have never joined her. And so we get so caught up in our emotions of thinking that nobody's interested. But the reality is when you continue to do the things, the bit by bit by bit, the day by day, you are generating interest and attracting people to you that you don't even know are watching you. Now, there's another statistic that kind of ties into this that says the average sale is closed after the 12th contact, or 80% of sales is closed after the 12th contact. You know, I've heard it takes 7 to 21 times for somebody to believe that they want something after seeing it across their timeline over and over again. And this cannot be more true with staying consistent and doing the things, letting people watch you, even though you feel like it's not getting results. Like, think about what made you join this business. Was it the first post you saw, or was it the fact that somebody popped up on your newsfeed one day, right? Like I remember watching this girl, she actually came into my inbox and was like, would you be interested in the business? And I was like, no. But then guess what? I started seeing her posts and they didn't really interest me. And then I started seeing her post and my interest was piqued. What are these products? You know, oh, that's crazy. She's making money from her phone, but probably not real. And then I carried on my life. And then guess who showed up again? Her post. Guess who showed up again in her stories? Her, right? And I'm watching. And then, you know, day by day, week by week, month by month, people are literally sitting here watching you and they're like, you know what? She's talking every single day about how this aloe is making her not feel bloated. I'm sitting here feeling bloated. Maybe they don't buy that day, but you've caught their attention. Where people go wrong in this business is they don't really like trust the process of consistency, and they get too caught up in their emotions of how they feel in the right now, and they work this business based on how they feel, not based on what they want, right? Which ties me to my last point. You are going to be driven to show up consistently when it doesn't feel good based on your why. We just got off a call with Barb Hauser tonight. She was amazing. And she said, your why has to be bigger than you. You need to know what you're working so hard for outside of yourself, because when it gets tough, that will be what pushes you through. And so I think that if you're on this business journey and you want to get results and you want to build to Ruby, Emerald to Diamond, and you want to do these things, be very clear on what it's going to feel like when you accomplished what you've come here to do. If your goal is to make, diamond and go make $3,000 or more with this business a month, what is that going to feel like for you when that happens? Like, what stress is that going to alleviate from your life? What does that look like for your children? What does that look like for the people in your life, your spouse, your family? And how does it allow you to live? What are the feelings like? And you guys, literally, when it gets hard, because it will, when the day comes when you're like, I don't want to be consistent. I've gone through the 10 no's. I've had the people say no. I feel like I'm posting and it's falling on deaf ears. You will be so driven by what you're here for that literally nothing will stop you. I remember thinking that this business, I just want to make $500 a month because that sounds good to me, and we're super broke, and that's what would help us so much right now. And realizing that if nobody ever dug me to need to go into that why deeper, you're going to give up on $500 a month. But what I wouldn't give up on is the fact that I knew that if I did not figure out this business, I would be dropping my son off in the arms of someone that did not love him like I did, at a daycare that I didn't trust, to be working at my job for 60 hours a week to pay for somebody else to raise him. That was what moved me. That's what made me, that's the full circle of this, right? That's the full circle of being willing to trust the process, because you know that it's hard if you do and it's hard if you don't. And that's what me personally, that's how I saw this through. So be willing to go on a 90-day run personally. Be willing to figure out what the daily list is that you need to stay consistent with to get the results. And you guys, to put it very simply in front of you, we've been doing this business for 6 years. How we built has changed. There wasn't host to post and there wasn't reels and all these things. But what I truly believe will never change in this business is for us to get the results we want, we need to every single day be posting, right? Open for business. We need to be growing our following in one way or another, because new eyes looking at your content is what is going to be the ever growing of your business. Having conversations. We're in network marketing. So what are you having conversations about? Are you interacting? Are you asking people to try the product? Are you asking people to try the business? Are you following up with people? Are you asking for HAP? Okay. And then the follow-up. So post, message, grow your network, follow-up, learning. I should say those 5 things. So posting, open for business, growing your network, new eyes looking at your stuff every day, messaging, asking about the products, the business, HAP, whatever, and then following up, having your business be treated like a business. And when you have people that say they're interested, not just letting them, go off and they'll let me know when they're ready. No, you're writing their name down, you're following up with them, you're interacting with them, you're building that relationship with them, and then having the business mindset enough to say, you know what? I haven't developed the skills that I want to in this industry yet. You've never arrived. There are always going to be things that you can learn. And so, being willing to invest your time in a podcast or a YouTube video or getting on the call, because then that will tie everything else together. So I hope this helped you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.